Kutztown Live. Kutztown University campus's campus and community interest radio magazine. You can call Kutztown Live at 610-683-4859. And now, your host for Kutztown Live, Juliana Jablonski.
Good afternoon and welcome to Kutztown Live, Kutztown University's campus and community talk show. I am your host, Juliana Jablonski, here with my co-host, Mike O'Mara.
Hi.
Thank you all for tuning in with us on this Tuesday afternoon. If you missed last week's show or a show from a few weeks ago, be sure to head on over to the Kutztown University Radio page on YouTube and look under the Kutztown Live tab. Be sure to subscribe to get all those Kutztown Radio YouTube videos, and be sure to like Kutztown Live on Facebook.
Yes.
And Kutztown University Radio on Facebook also to stay up to date on all things going on here on the radio station.
Hashtag KURadio.
Yes. And last week on this show, we spoke to baseball player Ryan Cox. We also spoke to Lori D'Onofrio Galli from the Northeast Berks Chamber of Commerce. Along with her, she brought her guest Andrea Funk, who will be one of the keynote speakers for the Chamber Dinner on May 17th. Our co-host here, Michael O'Mara, filled us in on some KUSGB information.
I did.
And we heard an interview from KU veteran Matt Stephenson.
Yes, we did. I just want to mention Coxie had 4 RBIs in one game this weekend. Unbelievable. Sorry. Continue.
I was standing at a table. By the way, I was standing at a table on Thursday for KUR, and his girlfriend came up and was like, "Oh, my boyfriend was just on the radio station." I was like, "Oh, I helped host that."
There
and she was
you
like,
go.
"That was you?" I was like, "Yeah." So that was cool.
Nice.
On to today's show. We will be speaking to Ken about the WK&S Railroad Civil War days. We will be speaking to Stephanie Casado from the Veterans Center. We will be also speaking to KU's lacrosse coach, Jackie Stezzi, and we have an interview from Drew Bergman about minding your mind. Here with us now is Ken from the WK&S Railroad Civil War days. Hello, and welcome to Kutztown Live.
Hi, thanks. Nice to be here.
It is great to have you here.
Ken, I just want to say, you took the trek out here, though, the weather permitting, and you got here, and I'm really thankful, because we have before we start this interview, I just want to say, we're gonna have giveaways. We're gonna have ticket giveaways. We're gonna have all the next week and a half of just online stuff, broadcast stuff, where you'll be able to answer trivia questions, and then you'll be able to win tickets to this event. So we're going to talk a little bit about this event. It's going to blow your socks off. So, Ken, why are you here today talking about Civil War days?
Well, the event at the WK&S Railroad is a fundraiser to restore the steam locomotive number 65 to running condition. So the whole event came to mind for me, I guess, at a bit of a nostalgic viewpoint. I was born and raised in the Lehigh Valley and went away for many years. I was in the Marine Corps a good 20 years or so.
Wow.
Moved back to this area, came back to Pennsylvania about 2014 after living in San Diego. I got sick of the nice weather.
How dare you?
I know. And I paid for it the first winter I was back, and still paying. But I go over to WK&S Railroad, and it's not what I remembered as a boy, but I found the people in charge and suggested that what I do with the living history presentations that I do as a profession could maybe apply to a fundraiser to get the steam locomotive running, and that struck a chord with the owners there. They appreciated my passion and appreciation of how things were, and then they saw the credibility behind what I do presenting history talks, that I said, if I could muster up other Civil War folks and we create this event here, let's stage something that draws people in and turn it towards a fundraiser that gets that steam locomotive back on the track.
Now it says that you are a Civil War reenactor and a first-person impressionist with over 40 years of study.
Right. I'm a fan of U.S. Grant.
Fan?
Yeah, well, lifelong.
40 years of study. You're a fan.
Yeah, he's been my hero since I was 8. And that started because I was homesick with chickenpox, and a book was sent home for me as homework, and it was a life story of General Grant. And as an 8-year-old, a lot of things about his life. It was a kid's book, so a lot of things appealed to me about his youth, how he was the type of kid who endured a lot of ridicule for his name. They called him Hug. His initial name was originally Hiram Ulysses Grant, so his friends would tease him. And his father always called him Ulysses, so there was a name mix-up when he went to West Point. But all through his youth, he endures a lot of this criticism from his friends. They teased him, they called him useless. And here's a kid, 8 years old, who was breaking horses when these other kids couldn't ride.
Useless for Ulysses. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, so that all appealed to me as a boy coming up. In my school years, I was a musician, and a lot of times musicians get a lot of ridicule too. So I could relate to Grant feeling, why are they picking on me like this when I'm doing something that I like doing, and it just appealed on so many levels that I started studying his life more and more, and now I have 48 books about Ulysses S. Grant in my collection. So coming into portraying him was something I didn't consider even after I left the Marine Corps. I retired and started teaching music in high school, and I started playing hooky from teaching to present talks as Grant. The likeness was already there, so it just became something that even the principal noticed. He goes, yeah, you're passionate about music and the education side, but this is really what you ought to consider getting into. So San Diego's not quite the place you can do that for a living. So it seemed logical to come back to Pennsylvania. And now I'm literally across 8 or 9 different states all year long, starting early February through almost Christmas. So that was the goal then, to bring that to the railroad as something, as a bit of an appeal that's different, from a lot of the other things they do.
If someone's listening right now, because we have students that are from out of state, where is WK&S?
WK&S Railroad is in Kempton, which is just maybe 10, 15 miles north of here, off of Pennsylvania Highway 146 and 737, just north of 78.
So not far at all.
Now, the Wanamaker, Kempton, and Southern Railroad. So you get the Wanamaker, you'll see the track, and you come a little bit down, and you find Kempton, you're there.
And so Civil War Days is happening right at this railroad.
Yeah, this is our second one now. We had it last year.
The inaugural. Cool.
Yeah, the inaugural
event. How'd that
go? Well, it didn't go as well as I had hoped. I had invited a number of troops and other speakers, because we have a number of speakers who every hour or so, authors, other Civil War personalities. President Lincoln came. Robert E. Lee was there. I had a Confederate female spy who was there, and a couple other, Civil War personalities. And that was the major attendance from the Impressionists. There, I didn't get many soldiers. I had 3 or 4 soldiers. So people were looking for the gunpowder and the camp experience, and it just didn't quite happen there. But the train was running, so they got to enjoy the train. There was a band concert. The Civil War Marine Band that I conduct played at the train station when Lincoln arrived by train. So that was a neat little scene we put on. So this year we've got maybe 60 or 70 period-attired folks, generals, soldiers, a blacksmith, a mule skinner.
Going all out.
Yeah, so more, they're fence sitters. People don't want to come in the first time. They see it after it's successful, then they say, oh, let's do this. So the railroad loved it, because they said the attendance was much better than they expected. So they said, let's do it again. They were optimistic. Maybe you'll get more folks to come on, so that's what we're looking at. And we're making this a little bit more expanded, definitely interactive, because the camps will be open so visitors can come. They want to march with the soldiers. The soldiers will be happy to train them.
Boot camp.
A little bit of that. And then the different speakers, they can interact with us. There'll be General Meade, who's the hero of Gettysburg, along with General Hancock. Sherman will be there, and Sheridan. Of course, me as Grant. General Ewell from the Confederate Army. A number of surgeons and other types of soldiers. So a lot of different aspects of the experiences of the war, and you can talk to us as if we're really those people. So you come back in time with us and live the experience. And
what's the day and time?
The dates are Saturday the 14th and Sunday the 15th of April. Mm-hmm. And what we found, doing a little bit more thematic with this, now April 14th, 1865, is the date that Lincoln was assassinated at Ford's Theater. So we're having our Lincoln there on Saturday, and his talk will be about what Lincoln's aspirations were once the war was over. And, of course, then the final talk of the day will be General Grant explaining why he wasn't with Lincoln the night he was shot. So there'll be a little bit of a history lesson and a little bit of the description of the play that they went to and how John Wilkes Booth used the scene in the play to mask the dastardly act he did to assassinate Lincoln. So you get some history, but it's going to be done almost in a conversational kind of tone where you feel like you're hanging out and talking to the folks who were there, and you look at them like they really think they're that person. But you get sucked in, because that's one of the coolest comments I'll get from one of my normal presentations I do is the host will sit back and they'll say, it's really amazing how people start talking to you as if you are that person. And, you get somebody in, then that stimulates a little thought. maybe stimulates the idea to want to go read something. But they walk away, they're kind of entertained, and they're educated at the same time.
Would you say a personal goal of yours might be to engage that 8-year-old who might be on the fence, who might be a little and might want to say,
Oh, yeah.
General Grant right over there. I like General Grant.
All the time, that kind of thing happens. You see the gears start to turn where somebody's head. And I'll say a lot of times with kids, whether it's a school or just the encounter with a child, I'll say, make sure you go home and read, because you never know what you're going to become from what you read.
Because then you might be able to become General Grant.
Because right. That's how it starts.
Can we speak to General Grant?
Yes, sure.
Okay.
What would you like to know?
I don't know, General Grant. What motivated you? I mean, we all know why Ken is doing this. Why is General Grant making an appearance?
Well, Lincoln made me General-in-Chief of the Army in March of 1864 after a number of successive battles that I've had where I was victorious, where other generals weren't. And what we're looking at doing is making the public more aware of the efforts of the soldiers and those they supported throughout the war, and a bit of a way to say thank you for supporting us. Pennsylvania was a breadbasket for the armies, and the exploits of Pennsylvania troops are well known from Gettysburg through Virginia, even out to Vicksburg, where I had one of my greatest victories. So this is a way to let the people know we appreciate what they've contributed. Who's
another influential general, an adversary, I don't want to say coworker, that's not the correct term, General, but who's someone who's going to be speaking that really just stands out to you, General?
Well, I know President Lincoln wants to share his thoughts, and he's not a general, but Lincoln himself...
He's kind of important.
He is an extremely important man.
Yeah.
He's the other half of enabling me to carry out what we had to do to win the war. I think one of the other significant generals you might want to talk to is William Tecumseh Sherman.
I recognize that name.
He's going to be out with us, and he's going to talk about what he did as he went through Georgia. And Phil Sheridan will be with us, and he's a bit of a loose cannon at times. He got under the skin of General Meade, who will also be there. And one of the most colorful generals in the Union Army, one of the heroes at Gettysburg, is Winfield Scott Hancock. His nickname is Hancock the Superb.
Oh, General.
Well, I didn't give him that name.
I want from your personal tastes, food-wise. Is there going to be food there that just really stands out to you, General?
Well, what I know is that the railroad folks will have their kitchen open. They're going to have the typical kind of picnic fare you'll find.
I'm talking about something that's just unique.
Well,
what you got?
When I eat out in the field, when I'm with the Army out in the field, I just carry a jar full of sliced cucumbers in vinegar, and I eat that hardtack and whatever bacon's laying around. I don't really pack it on out in the field. I'm more or less eating whatever the soldiers eat.
Mm-hmm. I'm as a kid, I would do the same thing. I would grab cucumbers. My mom would pickle cucumbers, so then I would just walk around with cucumbers all the time.
Well, they're just easy. You slice them up. I have a jar full of vinegar, and they go in my saddlebag, and I'm off for the day.
If a young couple, nice little group of two people, like, I just heard that they're giving away some of these tickets to this event. General Grant, what might a young couple be able to do at Civil War Days?
For Civil War Days, a young couple might come see what life was like for not only the soldiers, but that young lady who sends her man off to fight for her honor. We get a taste of that scene for itself. They can take a train ride together and experience what that might be like traveling around no more than about 20 miles an hour, which is the average speed of trains in our time period. So they have a lot of time to converse and think. Now, in our time period, too, young ladies and young men don't get a lot of time alone from their chaperones. So this is an opportunity to take advantage of having that alone time.
All right. And is it free for anyone to come and experience these Civil War days, or how does that work?
Okay, well, to come to the campsite and enjoy what you see as far as the living history scene, that is all free of charge. Parking is free of charge. To ride the train is where you
park the
pay
trains.
For your tickets.
To park the trains, yeah.
Well, yeah, to get on the cars and ride, and we from the 1860s will be on the train interacting as well.
Beautiful.
Okay.
And tickets and all are on the WK&S Railroad website for prices. If somebody's going to partake of the trivia questions, they can hopefully score free tickets as well, because they might come down and find out from that experience that there are other events at WK&S Railroad that would be something as a date night. If they're dog lovers, there's 2 different Bow Wow trains this year that are
Bow Wow train.
Yes, tell us a little more about
What's
what that
Bow
is.
Wow train?
Bring your dog on the train.
Okay.
So the dogs get to ride on the train with the guests. Now, the next time I'm going to be at the railroad as the general will be for the beer, barbecue, and cigar train on Saturday of Memorial Day weekend. That's a craft beer experience, a barbecue meal, and a free cigar. And as we did last year, people had trouble lighting that cigar. I was helping them light their cigar. And on the open car of the train, you're free to smoke while the train's running. So not much better than that you can get. The Rails and Ragtime event is coming. The Touch a Train Day, where the steam locomotive is out. There's a wine and cheese train on 4 different nights in the summer, and that's a nice date night experience. The Kids Fun Weekend for families, the Kempton Train Robbery, the Harvest Moon Special in September will be nice in the evening. The Halloween Spooktacular will be 2 different weekends, the Pumpkin Patch Train, and then the Santa Claus Special. So WK&S has a lot of activity for friends, family, like I said, for date nights and things like that as well.
It's April and you got Halloween, you got Christmas all planned out. Incredible. Well, General Grant.
We thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for coming by here on Kutztown Live today. Seriously.
Yes, thank you so much. And we've got tickets to be giving out, did you say?
On social media, hashtag KURadio, and listening right here on KUR. Tickets to the Civil War Days happening April 14th and April 15th this year. We're going to get you tickets. Don't you worry.
All right. Thank you so much for stopping in with us here on
Thanks
KUR.
very much.
It was great to have you.
All right. Appreciate it.
We will be right back with more of Kutztown Live.
Going to be a star on Saturday Night Live.
I'm going to be a pediatric nurse.
I'm going to write the next great American novel.
I'm going to pursue my love of art and study at Wash U in St. Louis.
But then, meningitis B struck. Our dreams never did come true.
We all had the meningitis vaccine that was available at the time.
And that helped protect us against 4 of the most common groups of meningitis here in the U.S., A, C, W, and Y.
But at that time, there was no vaccine in the U.S. for meningitis B, so we didn't have the chance to be protected against it.
But there's good news.
Today, there is a vaccine available to help protect against meningitis B.
Ask your doctor about it.
Because 16 to 23-year-olds have an increased risk because of how we socialize.
For example, at crowded concerts or at parties.
Where we can share a drink.
Or a kiss.
Basically, we share saliva. Know that when meningitis strikes, it can happen fast.
Meningitis can lead to death, sometimes within 24 hours of being perfectly healthy.
I can't imagine thinking it's okay to knowingly help protect myself against only 4 of the 5 vaccine-preventable groups of meningitis.
That is not okay. Help make your dreams come true. Get vaccinated with both vaccines. The one for ACW and Y, plus a separate shot for Men B.
Do it because you can.
Hello?
Hi, I found your name on the internet. I'm going through a foreclosure. Can you help me?
Absolutely, ma'am. What we do is simple. We leverage your transitory expenditures into a fiduciary trust to help keep your equity totally solvent. Then we're going to blah your assets to hedge against any impending IPOs or DVDs. Now, it's important to massage the assets, then exfoliate and apply a light cream. Standard procedure. And then, of course, that money goes into my private account.
I don't get it.
Well, you don't have to.
If you're facing foreclosure, there are a lot of companies promising to help you. All of the information can be really confusing. But who should you trust? The Hope Hotline. The Hope Hotline is a free resource connecting you with HUD-approved housing counseling agencies, available 24 hours a day, who understand your situation. Since 2007, they've helped over 5 million people get the clarity and information they need. Call the Hope Hotline at 888-995-HOPE. That's 888-995-4673. Brought to you by NeighborWorks America and the Ad Council.
Hi, hon. I thought you were coming home early.
Yeah.
What's the matter? What happened?
And I realized today just how much I really love you.
What do you mean?
I almost got killed today.
Oh, my God.
I was rushing home to catch the game. There was a train coming. I thought I could beat it.
Oh, Billy.
I was just about to go around the gate. Something made me slam on the brakes.
Oh, thank God.
Hot coffee went everywhere.
I'm so glad you're all right.
Wasn't worth the risk. Never see you again. Never smell your hair.
Don't even say that.
Never see you walk.
I love you.
I'm sorry.
It takes a mile for a train to stop. Don't try to beat a train, or someone you love will get hurt. Look, listen, and live. This message brought to you by Operation Lifesaver and this station.
Darlene!
Not now. I'm watching my stories.
Dad?
Yeah, boy?
I need to tell you something.
What?
I have these feelings.
Feelings? What feelings?
Well, the thing is, Dad, I like boys.
What? You're gay? Aw, son. I'm proud of you. Took lots of guts. And please know that both me and your mom are here for you. After all, you're our son, and we love you no matter what.
Need someone who understands? If you're a lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, or questioning youth, Lyric can help. At Lyric, young people get the support they need to come out early and follow their heart. I'm Armistead Maupin. Please join me in supporting Lyric. To learn more and make a donation, visit lyric.org today.
And for GLBTQ resources on campus, visit the KU GLBTQ Center, Old Main, Room 4. The Northeast Berks Chamber of Commerce is your premier resource and voice for trusted local business. The Chamber advances regional economic and cultural growth through supportive collaboration with business and community organizations, as well as government. For more information, call the Northeast Berks Chamber of Commerce at 610-683-8860. That's 610-683-8860, or visit their website at northeastberkschamber.com. Women comprise 51% of America's population. Tune in to 51% here on KUR 51%, a show produced by women and for women, discussing women's issues and topics. Thursdays at 7:30 a.m. here on the radio voice, KUR.
Good afternoon and welcome back to Kutztown Live, Kutztown University's campus and community talk show. We just spoke to Ken and General Grant from WK&S Railroads. They've got a lot of exciting events going on there. And here with us now is Jackie Stezzi, and she is the coach of the lacrosse team here at KU. Hello and welcome to Kutztown Live.
Hi, how are you? Happy game day.
Happy game day. Who are you going up against?
All right, so we are playing Bloomsburg University this evening at 7 p.m.
Really? And where?
Yes.
So at Andre Reed Stadium, and it is free to all students, so we'd love to have a little support.
What time's the game?
7 p.m.
7 p.m.
Yes.
All right.
And this is PSAC play.
Correct. So we haven't been, we've been kind of on a hiatus for a little bit due to Mother Nature, but we are back. We haven't played at home since March 3rd, so we're really excited to have a home game for the first time in a while.
It's been a month-long vacation. That's a full month.
I don't know if I would say vacation. That might be a little strong.
But performing on your own stage, you need to have that feeling, and you had a whole month of absence.
Correct.
Jeez.
Correct.
And you've been getting all the stuff done behind the scenes.
That's correct. We've been playing away, so being in front of a home crowd is very exciting, and we're happy to finally get back on Andre Reed Stadium.
What's a strength that you think you're going to bring into tonight's game?
Speed.
I like that.
Kills. Can't coach it, and we've got a lot of it. And they're hungry.
You're modest. You can't coach. You can't coach it.
You can't. You either got it or you don't. And so that's something that we definitely have. The Bloomsburg's a really talented team. They've come really far in the past, I think, 2 years. We saw them in fall ball, and they looked really good. But we've made some pretty big steps in the past couple months as well. So I think that our speed is going to be dangerous against the Bloomsburg team this evening.
Beautiful. And you can probably, there's a strong chance the Athletics, they'll be live streaming that on YouTube, or is that not going with lacrosse right now?
Our sports information director has done an amazing job.
Yes, shout out Brian.
Yeah, exactly. Covering us for so far. I'm not quite certain about this evening, but we definitely will have another one. But I think
they do a good job. Golden, what's the go hashtag Go Bears Go? There it is.
Yeah, Hungry Bears run faster too.
There it is. You look at you look at those tags on social media, and they'll be posting live updates of that. So If you can get there, great. But, I mean, if you can't, there's really many different ways to interact with their content. You can look at stats. You can look at live play-by-play. We're a professional outlet here at Kutztown University.
Yeah, and actually our personal, I guess, our team's social media sites, you should follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. We're at Golden Bear Lax. And actually most of our student athletes are in charge of a majority of the content on there, and they have a really good time with it. And get creative, and it is fun. It is fun.
Our sports coordinator, Connor High, thanks you. He's been looking a lot at the athletic accounts, and some of them I'm not naming names here, but sometimes they kind of fall off, and then sometimes they're really lacrosse. He just told me indirectly like an hour ago the lacrosse accounts have been active.
Hey,
so he's been
our
liking
game is
that.
strong when it comes to
on and off the field. You get it done.
True, and I got to give a shout out to our captains. They're largely in charge of that. I can't take credit for it, so good job, Maddie, and good job, Lauren.
There it is. I was like, wait a minute, what names? Yeah, okay, good. I do want to talk a little bit about something that you brought up to me just before we got on air. This is your first season here as coach. she's
sure is.
And a lot of coaches that come on, and they're great coaches, but they've been here for a decade, 2 decades, possibly 3, pushing 3 anyway. How is this perspective as a freshman coach? How you handling that?
I think that it's incredibly exciting. Obviously, whenever there's a big change, it comes with an excitement and then a little bit of uncertainty as well. But I'm lucky enough that I think I'm surrounded by these coaches that have been here 10, 20, some almost 30 years. So I definitely am the baby of the department, even though. I have been coaching for about 10 years now, so it is great to have that support.
I'm looking at your resume. It's very nice.
Oh.
It's just a general shout out. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Well,
absolutely.
Hopefully we keep going strong. That was in the past. I want to look to the future and make sure that we make our mark here too. But so it's been an adjustment. They actually just changed the women's lacrosse rules. We added a 90-second shot clock, just like similar to the men's game. So it's become a lot faster. I think before it looked a little bit like red light, green light, or freeze tag sometimes, which was kind of frustrating because you just wanted to say let them play, and they're actually doing that now. So I think it's a great change for the game and actually for people to watch in general too. So another reason why you should come out tonight and watch us at 7:00.
Nice. You mentioned you're starting conversations before I even get to them.
Sorry.
That's perfect. I want you to lead this conversation. Coach, you mentioned progress. You mentioned the future. You mentioned everything's in the past. Let's focus on what we got going forward. One of the biggest issues that always exists, and I know you're in conference play, the season's young, is what the future's looking like. So your players, recruitment, how's that looking for future leadership going forward?
Great so far. We're still looking to fill a few spots for our 2018 class, but I already have one signed for 2019, which is exciting. And I think that we're laying a really great foundation that can only go up from here. But we need to get the right. I always tell the girls we're trying to find good humans to bring in. That's what we want. There are a lot of people that are talented and they can play lacrosse really well, but you want to bring the good people in.
You got to be part of a team.
Yeah,
it's a team effort.
We spend a lot of time together, and you want to make sure that the people you're surrounding yourselves with are have the right priorities. So we've got 5 commits so far, and then I'm looking at 2 or 3 more, and I'm only graduating 3, so we'll have a little bit of a surplus, but that's the whole idea, to get better every year and
and you
keep bringing fresh faces in.
You mentioned the academic stresses, the mental stresses of being in this role as an athlete in college, and I want to kind of tie it back to what you previously mentioned it's been a month since you've been at home. It's had an opportunity of just getting cancellations, rescheduling. And now you have how many games in 12 days?
So we have 6 games in 12 days. For baseball or softball, that's kind of average. But for a game like lacrosse, it's pretty unique. So I have to give the girls credit. They're kind of sticking their noses in the books and grinding it out.
It's week 10, and academics, they really start hitting you good right about now.
Yep.
And so... So I'm excited to see what happens because it's a very, very difficult test to start academics to start with 6 games in 12 days and then end out on the win column.
Correct. No, that's totally... You're on point there, but the one thing I have to say is being home is nice. Traveling definitely makes the academic side a little bit more difficult, so being home and not having to miss that much class is definitely a bonus here.
And I want to know more about what's going on after Bloom, but I don't want to do that because you have to focus on tonight, and that's like a taboo. You do not do that.
One game at a time, man.
Exactly. Focus on tonight against Bloom. Any more keys to the game for this evening?
We got to shut a couple players down. They've got some girls that are putting up some serious numbers, so they'll be on the docket. This is meant to say nicely, but take advantage potentially of a goalie that doesn't have a ton of experience, but she is solid in cage, and be consistent. Play a full 60 minutes, no let-ups the entire time. We've got some warriors on our team, though, and I have faith that, we're going to have a successful game tonight. It's going to be a battle.
7 p.m. Andre Reed Stadium.
Yes, sir.
Amazing. # Go Bears Go. Mention the social media one more time for the lacrosse team.
Yeah, at Golden Bear Lax.
There it is, folks.
Yes.
Seriously, Jackie, Coach Jackie, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to visit Kutztown University Radio.
It was my pleasure. Anytime. Thanks, guys.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Since 1994, The Bagel Bar, located at 214 West Main Street in the borough of Kutztown, is a local internet cafe featuring strong varieties of New York bagels, cream cheeses, sandwiches, fresh brewed coffee, and smoothies. Whether you work, study, or live in the area, The Bagel Bar has your favorite breakfast and lunch. To place an order, call 610-683-5440. That's 610-683-5440. Mention you heard this on Kutztown University Radio. Colleen's Craft and Flowers is your premier full-service florist and gift shop. Located at 16 North White Oak Street in the heart of Kutztown, Colleen's features an extensive line of unique gifts in addition to a wide selection of fresh flowers. KU students are encouraged to use bear bucks for birthdays, anniversaries, or just because. And yes, Colleen's delivers. For more information, call Colleen's at 610-683-9330. That's 610-683-9330, or visit kutztownflorist.com. PSECU is one of Pennsylvania's largest credit unions. Located in McFarland Student Union, room 280, PSECU offers students, faculty, and staff a full range of low-cost or free financial services. The credit union operates 3 ATMs on campus, free for members. For more information, visit www.psecu.com. That's www.psecu.com.
Since the early 70s, Friends Incorporated, located at 658 D Noble Street in Kutztown, has helped thousands of families in northeastern Berks County strengthen relationships with themselves and their community through a wide range of outreach services. Every family and individual is offered case management services, food pantry assistance, counseling, support groups, and program referrals. Contact Friends Incorporated at 610-683-7790. That's 610-683-7790. Or visit their website, www.friendinc.org. Friend Incorporated, helping our neighbors to strengthen our community.
Today is the start of your dream vacation. By land or by sea, the first decision is your destination. Cruise the Caribbean, ride rivers, and tour towns. Dream Vacations right here in Kutztown helps you get to where you want to go. Contact travel consultant Ellen Overcast by dialing 610-781-6950 or by email at eovercast@dreamvacations.com or the Dream Vacations website at www.mainstreetgetaways.com.
Monday nights from 10 to 12, KUR gets a bit crazier. Whether you're looking for rock, or maybe some electronic dance music, or anything else in between. That means Split Wires, hosted by the Mad Hatter, is the show for you. Tune in live at www.kutztown.edu/KUR. KUR, the radio voice of Kutztown University.
Good afternoon, and welcome back to Kutztown Live, Kutztown University's campus and community talk show. We just spoke to Jackie Stezzi, the lacrosse coach here at KU. Before that, we spoke to Ken from WK&S Railroads, and here with us now is Stephanie Casado from the Veterans Center. Hello, and welcome back to Kutztown Live.
Hey, Juliana. Thanks so much for having me back. It's always a pleasure.
It is great to have you here. I know you've got some events coming up at the Veterans Center that you're here to tell us about.
I do, yeah. We have a couple of great things coming up this whole month of April. We are continuing our Lunch and Learn series. We hold once a month on April 10th. We will be having a Lunch and Learn with an outside guest from Healing Arts Therapy. She's going to come in and do a little art therapy session with our military students, teach them how to create a mandala. So that should be
that's cool.
Fun and different, and I think hopefully therapeutic as we sort of head into the finals
and stress week.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So that should be nice. But we have two major ones that I really want to talk about today. And one is our Veterans Transition Workshop. That's going to be held on Saturday, April 21st. And that is actually an all-day event that's going to run from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. On that Saturday. So that's a big event. That's going to be in the AF in room 201. And basically what it is we're going to be having the Travis Manion Foundation, who we have done several things with throughout the semester. They're going to be returning and holding this all-day workshop with some breakout sessions and different segments and seminars on different topics throughout the day, identifying personal strengths, talking about how to appropriately develop your resume, uncover your particular purpose as you move forward, and kind of tap into your experience as a veteran. Although you don't necessarily have to be a veteran to attend this workshop, it is open to all. So anyone's welcome to come, but it is tailored a little bit more towards our military students in transition from first they transitioned out of the military, then they kind of had to transition into this college setting, and now they're transitioning again into the civilian sector. So it's geared mostly for our graduating seniors and even our juniors to kind of really get a good lay of the land as they're moving into a new chapter of their lives.
Do students need to register for this, or can they just show up, or how does that work?
They do need to register,
okay.
And they can do that by either emailing at veterans@kutztown.edu, or they can come into the center in MSU room 262 to register for that workshop.
Is it free to attend that?
It is free. It's totally free, and food will be provided all day. You will have access to digital resources and networking events after the event, and then from 4 to 6 that day, we will also be doing an off-campus networking over at K-Town Pub. So it's really going to be a neat day. But definitely register early if you want to participate in that, so we can make sure we have.
When would be the deadline to register?
I would say the latest to register would be the week before, maybe like April 15th.
Okay. All right.
And the next big event that is open to everyone on campus that we're very excited about is our end-of-year bash. And we put big quotation marks around bash because you will literally be bashing. We're holding a car smash.
Oh, my gosh.
So it's going to be held in Ray's Pizza parking lot right across from Stratton.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be from 11 to 1 on Thursday, April 26th. And this is going to be a fundraiser for our Veterans Student Emergency Fund. You can come. Get out all your aggression right before finals.
Yep.
And it's $1 per swing or $5 for 6 swings. And you could take your swing at the car and just bash it as much as you like.
And any student can
Any
do
student, faculty, staff, anybody who would like to come, we highly encourage you to come out. It's going to be really fun. We're working with Ray on a pizza deal as well, so that's in the works. We're not sure what that's going to be yet.
He's worked a lot with KUR and done things.
Yeah,
there,
he's
so.
awesome. Very supportive. The one thing I would want people to remember is if you do want to participate in the bash, make sure you wear closed-toed shoes. That's going to be a requirement.
Okay.
But we'll provide all the other safety gear, everything.
And what was the date for that again?
Again, that's April 26th. That's on a Thursday from 11 to 1. Ray's Pizza.
All right. Is there anything else coming up? Or
lastly, to kind of close out the semester, our last event is we're going to be participating in the Out of the Darkness Walk to particularly kind of highlight the issue of veteran suicide and kind of walk in solidarity and ending that. That's going to be on Sunday, April 29th, starting at 5. So we are formulating a team. If you're interested in participating with us in that walk, we are getting our own T-shirts made up, so let us know in advance if you want to be part of that team so we can get you registered and get a T-shirt for you.
I was trying to find her name. I can't remember it off the top of my head. One of the women helping to run the Out of the Darkness Walk. We just talked to her.
Kathy Loomis?
Yes, that's her name. I was like, I knew I had it written down, but I couldn't find it anywhere.
Yeah, it's an amazing event they hold every year, so we're excited to be a part of it.
That's really exciting. Well, thank you for coming in and filling us in on a bunch of information. I was just telling her before we started the show that someone was talking about the events that she's talked about on air, so it was cool to hear it talked about here and then hear the veterans and students here actually going to it.
Yeah, it's
so
awesome.
That's really exciting. So
thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much. We love having you stop in here, and maybe we'll see you maybe later in the semester or hopefully next semester.
Hopefully, yeah.
Yes, that'd be great.
I'll be back soon.
All right, thank you.
Thanks.
And we will be back with more of Kutztown Live. We'll be hearing from, let's see here, I just lost that. Who are we hearing from? Oh my god. Minding Your Mind, Drew Bergman.
Ray's Pizza di Sogno is the newest buzz on Main Street. Located at 478 West Main, Ray's has specialty Italian pinwheels, handmade mozzarella, and hot slices at the ready. To order your favorites, dial 484-648-2720. That's 484-648-2720. Or order online at rayspizzadisogno.com. That's Ray'sPizza, DASOGNO.com. Mention KURadio for a special treat.
Kutztown University Veterans Center, located in McFarland Student Union, room 262, exists to help our military-affiliated population to succeed in their educational and career goals. The Veterans Services Center is a vital hub where students can study, relax, have access to computers and printers, meet other veterans, and receive assistance with their GI Bill and other benefits. Want to learn more? Email the center at veterans@kutztown.edu or call them at 610-683-4228.
Thursday. For 1 hour, only watch DJ Thursday and some kids talk about utter and complete nonsense. Tune in into KUR Thursday. Hang on to your seats, but you will only need the edge.
Happy Hour, Thursdays at 4. Only here on KUR, the radio voice of Kutztown University.
My name is Michael O'Mara. You're listening to a very special segment on Kutztown Live. Shout out to the GLBTQ Center on campus for helping me set this up. Christine Price, if you're listening. If you're maybe not in the room, I don't know. Enjoying this interview? Great. Again, my name is Michael O'Mara, and this is Kutztown Live. I have with me, Minding Your Mind's Drew Bergman. Drew.
How's it going today?
It's going. Tell me why you're here at Kutztown.
So I'm here at Kutztown. I've been here for a couple of years now, actually, that I've come back to speak to the student body on behalf of an organization called Minding Your Mind. So I do mental health education as well as suicide prevention programs to middle schools, high schools, and colleges around the country. So I talk to the students really about my experiences with depression and anxiety throughout the years, and kind of talking to them as a young person what my skills were and what my coping skills were in order to get through those difficult times. As somebody who just graduated from college, it's kind of somebody that was just there trying to give a little bit of perspective on how to make this more manageable.
And you're pretty local. You graduated from Temple, correct?
Correct. I just graduated from Temple University this past summer. Thank you.
Nice.
In 5 years, long enough, but I'm done. So
beautiful. And your position, correct me if I'm wrong, your LinkedIn's very, very nice. Director of Development for Minding Your Mind.
Correct. So I am the director of development. I, for the past 3 years now, expanded a fundraiser called A Celebration of Life to Philadelphia. I started it when I was in school, and this year will be the third year. We're expecting 700 attendees and hoping that we'll raise $150,000 for Minding Your Mind's mental health education programs.
Wow.
So it's a great time. If you find yourself in Philly, it's just a 4-hour open bar. We have people like Lyft who provide rides to and from the event. The Phillies donate Phillies tickets to the game the next day, so you get 2 days of fun.
I'm going to put this link in the description in this video. Don't you worry.
Yeah, so it's awesome. And all the proceeds support Minding Your Mind's educational programs. A lot of our programs are free of charge to schools in the Philadelphia region that maybe not be able to afford it. And so that's exactly what this event supports.
How did you get involved with Kutztown?
So I was asked just through the university, I think a couple of years ago. We have several different speakers, Minding Your Mind does.
Yeah.
And I guess my story resonated with some of the things that they wanted to talk about. And so I came in and, shared my experience. And I guess it was well received enough the first year that I came back, and I'm here again.
Mm-hmm. And I want to talk a little bit about your story, if you'd like. When I read over some stuff, I listened to some videos that you've recorded. I read some interviews. It resonated with me in some capacities. So can you just give the listener an understanding of where you're coming from?
Yeah.
Thank you.
So I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm a student. I'm a person that has lived experience.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a survivor of 2 attempted suicides. One when I was at the age of 12 and one when I was at the age of 16. And so I know what it feels like for a lot of these kids. I know what it feels like to think that things won't get better, to think that things won't change, and that there's nobody out there that can get you the help that you need. And so the reason that I do what I do is to show them first-handedly that things will get better, that there are people out there that can get them the help that they need. And for them, that in just like for me, 8 years' time, that you too can go on to live an incredibly successful and productive life while dealing with your mental health. Mm-hmm. And I think that lived experience, kind of the thinking that I have, or what I always say, it's what I know now, what I wish I knew then, kind of.
There's a quote that I saw from you in an interview, and I want to say it out because it's a really powerful quote. And it really helps me connect with your perspective. Talk about mental health as openly and often as you talk about going to the gym, how far you ran this weekend, your time in the latest triathlon, or the number of 5Ks you finish each spring. I think a lot of people, there's a stigma.
Mm-hmm.
We have the mental health care kiosk on this campus. We host many events that talk about some of the mental health issues that plague some individuals on campus. But unfortunately, there's still this idea that exists, and it preludes you communicate in general, especially. Absolutely. You could talk about politics, you could talk about anything, but with mental health, it's so difficult to properly convey. And events like these, they do it.
Correct.
They really do.
Correct.
What you've done in these interviews, what you've done with Minding Your Mind, it is doing it.
Thank you.
So I really appreciate that.
I appreciate that.
And what I said when I resonated with your story, though I have not attempted suicide, but I have dealt with significant issues in my life. So things like rationalization, because I've seen you talk about these in your interviews, rationalization of something that's happening in your life. So realistically working your body and mind, that's vital, man. And then communication. You mentioned communication, internal communication, just communicating with yourself in a healthy manner.
Correct.
And external, talking with therapists. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Absolutely. So I always say that we are our worst enemies. We talk worse to ourselves than we would talk to anybody else.
Preach.
And we think that that's a way of motivating ourselves, that by saying you're fat, you're lazy, that'll get us to go to the gym.
Yeah.
But the research just shows that that's not how it works, that like when you talk yourself down like that, it makes you amotivational. It makes you not want to do things. And so instead, like I've kind of even changed my perspective where if I get to the gym, if I make it to the physical gym, that is an accomplishment of itself. Whatever I do once I'm inside of that gym, that's the cherry on top. But it's setting those goals, those small achievable goals for yourself that are manageable. Because I know that when I'm having a tough time, sometimes if I say I'm going to the gym for an hour, I won't be able to do an hour. But that's okay. Like as long as I get to the gym, that's a step in the right direction.
Yeah.
So really trying to change the way that we talk to ourselves and not trying to beat ourselves up all the time. The world is hard enough as it is. There's a lot of factors in our lives that we can't control. So we need to do everything in our power to control the things that we can. The way that we talk to ourselves.
I like you, Drew.
The things that we put into our body, like our food, our nutrition, things like our stress levels, the amount of time that we're, staying up all night, or, the amount of time that we're behind our technology. Like, all of those things, whether we want to acknowledge it or not, have an impact on how we feel. And so at that point, it kind of allows everybody to make decisions for themselves and say, okay, well, if I do this, it may make me feel better, or it make me feel worse. But our goal is to provide them with the tools so that they can recognize that.
Walking the walk and talking the talk. It's refreshing. It really is. I used that word before. It is.
Thank you.
Radiating. That's what's happening right now. And I have one last question before you head off, because you have a busy night ahead of you. What's one thing that KU has omitted from something to assist, or at least to benefit the idea of mental health here on campus? Do you have anything off the top of your head?
I would say that awareness and education are the keys to reducing the stigma surrounding mental health issues.
Okay.
The way that we're going to change the way that mental health is talked about, the way that mental health is treated, or the way that sometimes mental health services aren't supported or covered under insurance, the way that we're going to change those things is through education, through advocacy, and through awareness. And that's what us at Minding Your Mind are trying to do.
Would you recommend contacting local representatives and communicating about some issues?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah, I've had a lot of people tell me that this semester, a significant amount of people. As a representative on Student Gov, we're taking this seriously.
Yeah.
We're taking the steps and processes to make it happen here at KU to the best of our ability, hopefully.
Yeah.
And then local representatives as well. They care and they're trying.
And we just, as young advocates, got to put in our work. It's if not me, then who?
Yeah.
And I think if we all kind of take that mentality and we all unite together, then we can make the change that we want to see in the world.
One last thing. I want to congratulate you on, because I was looking at your just a litany of accomplishments and qualifications.
Thank you.
It takes a significant amount of effort to lead volunteer-based programming. It takes a significant amount of effort to coordinate massive events. And it takes the stresses and the rigors almost unfathomable once you start expanding the scope. And what you're doing, it's very large. Mm-hmm. It encompasses a lot of people. And I try to handle things very micro. You're going macro, and you're doing it. So absolutely phenomenal. Drew, amazing.
Thank you. I think the way that I conclude that is building a movement, not a moment.
Yeah, he practiced that. I can tell. Beautiful.
I think that's what I want to do. The celebration of life, it's not just in Philly. It's in New York, Boston, Nashville, and we're expanding it. So we're really trying to build a movement of people supporting mental health awareness and mental health education.
Do you have one last opportunity to plug, promote, whatever you got? Reiterate anything you said?
And please come to the National Alliance of Mental Illness NAMI on campus, which is a club that is trying to pursue the same goals as Drew. We meet every Tuesday in Old Main, 131 at 4 p.m.
It's called NAMI. The acronym's NAMI?
Yeah, for National Alliance for Mental Illness. It's a national organization. We're a campus branch, so we are associated with the official organization.
Social media? Do you have a social media handle?
And NAMI at KU.
NAMI at KU. There it is,
and
folks.
we're on all social medias, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Please like us.
Oh, you're doing it. The people that are under Christine Price, the people that are under you are they're just so dedicated. It's insane. Drew Bergman, thank you for coming here.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely great. Minding Your Mind, that's what you're pretty much, from my perspective, just doing it and doing it best. For all things Kutztown Live, be sure to check us out on social media. Using hashtag KURadio.